The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. The story begins decades after the Nickel Academy, a Florida reform school, has closed. A secret, unmarked graveyard is discovered on the north side of the campus, separate from the official cemetery known as Boot Hill. University of South Florida archaeology students, initially excavating Boot Hill, find irregularities, fractured skulls, ribs riddled with buckshot, prompting a search that uncovers the hidden graves. This discovery reopens wounds and forces a new state investigation into the school's brutal history, long whispered about by former students, the Nickel Boys, but often dismissed. These men, now old, carry the deep scars of their time there, some connecting online, sharing stories, and holding quiet reunions. One such Nickel Boy, living in New York City under the name Elwood Curtis, avoids these groups but follows the news. The discovery of the secret graveyard compels him to confront the past he has long suppressed. The narrative then shifts back to 1962, introducing the real Elwood Curtis as a young, idealistic black teenager living in Frenchtown, Tallahassee, with his strict but loving grandmother, Harriet. Elwood is deeply inspired by a record of Martin Luther King Jr. speeches, particularly the message of inherent dignity and the promise of civil rights. He is studious and hardworking, holding on to Dr. King's words, "You are as good as anybody," as a personal creed. His early experiences include working after school in the kitchen of the Richmond Hotel, where his grandmother cleans rooms. A defining moment occurs when he wins a dish-drying contest against a cynical dishwasher named Pete for a set of encyclopedias left by a salesman, only to discover at home that all the volumes except the display one are blank. A cruel prank orchestrated by the kitchen staff that teaches him a hard lesson about misplaced trust and subtle malice. Elwood later takes a job at Marconi's Tobacco and Cigars, run by the squat, perspiring Mr. Marconi. There, he devours magazines like Life, following the burgeoning civil rights movement and seeing images of young activists facing violence with courage. These images fuel his desire to participate. He internalizes Dr. King's philosophy, applying it even to small injustices. When neighborhood boys steal candy from the store, Elwood, despite Mr. Marconi's policy of letting small thefts slide, confronts them out of a sense of personal dignity and responsibility. The boys ambush him later, beating him and giving him a black eye, reinforcing his grandmother's fear that standing up leads to pain, yet solidifying Elwood's own conviction. As Elwood enters his junior year at Lincoln High School, he encounters Mr. Hill, a history teacher and former freedom rider. Mr. Hill encourages Elwood's interest in the movement and connects historical struggles to their present reality. Elwood participates in a peaceful protest organized by college students demanding the integration of the local Florida theater, an experience that affirms his sense of purpose. Despite his grandmother's deep disapproval and fear, Mr. Hill later tells Elwood about an opportunity for advanced high school students to take free enrichment classes at the local black college, Melvin Griggs Technical. Seeing it as a step toward his future and a way to embody the progress Dr. King preached, Elwood eagerly accepts. On the day of his first college class, filled with anticipation and dressed in his best clothes, Elwood hitchhikes, needing to travel the 7 miles to Melvin Griggs. A black man named Rodney, driving a flashy Plymouth Fury, picks him up. Shortly after, they are pulled over by a white deputy. The car, it turns out, was recently stolen. Despite Elwood's complete innocence and Rodney's confirmation that they are strangers, Elwood is arrested as an accomplice. Because the Tallahassee jail is overcrowded and no one is immediately available to transport him, his principled lawyer, Mr. Andrews, convinces the judge to let him stay home until sentencing. Ultimately, despite his innocence, Elwood is sentenced to the Nickel Academy for Boys. Elwood arrives at Nickel, a sprawling campus with manicured lawns and red brick buildings that belie its grim purpose. He, along with two white boys, Franklin T. and Bill Y., are processed and introduced to Superintendent Maynard Spencer, a fastidious. He also shares a chilling truth. Sometimes boys taken to the White House never return, their disappearances covered up as escapes. Elwood, horrified, still clings to his belief in fighting injustice, mentioning his lawyer and Mr. Hill. Turner remains skeptical, emphasizing self-reliance as the only way out. Elwood eventually returns to his routine, assigned to the community service detail with Turner, supervised by a young, lackadaisical white man named Harper. This involves driving off campus in an unmarked van to deliver stolen school supplies, food, medicine, toiletries intended for the black students, to local businesses and individuals, including restaurants, a grocery store, and even the fire chief's house. Harper pockets envelopes of cash at each stop, explaining it's a long-standing system sanctioned by Spencer and Director Hardy. Elwood, appalled but outwardly compliant, meticulously documents these transactions, dates, names, goods in a secret notebook. The detail also involves performing odd jobs for local white families connected to the school board, like painting a gazebo at the fire chief's house. During one such job, Turner shares the story of his return to Nickel. After being released, he worked as a bowling alley pin setter, antagonized a white customer after being criticized by an older black man for shucking and jiving, and was sent back after smashing the customer's car window. The annual boxing match between the white and black campuses approaches. The reigning black champion, Axel, has graduated or been allowed to, and the formidable, bullying Griff is the new contender. The black students rally behind him despite his cruelty, as the fight is their one chance for collective victory and vicarious justice. Turner overhears Spencer ordering Griff to throw the championship fight against the white contender, Big Chet, threatening him with a trip out back, a reference to a pair of oak trees with iron rings used for severe whippings, from which boys sometimes disappeared. Elwood, learning this, connects it to gambling, citing corruption in professional boxing. Turner takes Elwood to see the ominous trees. At the fight, Griff dominates Big Chet through 2 rounds. In the 3rd round, when he is supposed to take a dive, Griff seems to lose track or defiantly continues fighting. The round ends with both boys exhausted. The referee declares Griff the winner based on points. Griff, seemingly confused and terrified, cries out, "I thought it was the second," as he is carried away victorious by the celebrating black students. That night, Spencer's men take Griff out back. He is never seen again, his disappearance officially unrecorded, though some boys cling to the fiction that he escaped. Decades later, his remains, showing signs of restraint and extreme violence, will be found in the secret graveyard. A surprise state inspection is announced, though Director Hardy receives advance warning. The campus undergoes a frantic cleanup and repair effort. Elwood sees this as his chance. He compiles his notes on the thefts and corruption, adding a mention of the White House beatings and Griff's disappearance, intending to give the letter to the inspectors. He struggles internally, weighing Dr. King's principles of nonviolent resistance and faith in eventual justice against Turner's pragmatic warnings and the overwhelming brutality of Nickel. He tries to hand the letter off during the inspector's tour, but loses his nerve. Harper then sends him on a pointless errand to the farms, seemingly to keep him out of the way. Turner, seeing Elwood's distress and desperation, takes the letter and promises to deliver it. Slipping it into a school newspaper, he hands to one of the inspectors as their car departs. That night, Elwood is taken from his bunk again. Spencer and Hennepin, Earl's meaner replacement, beat him less severely than the first time, but lock him in one of the disused third-floor dark cells. Confined in utter darkness, fed once a day, Elwood spirals into despair, questioning his faith in Dr. King's methods and the possibility of love and justice in a world determined to crush him. He feels utterly abandoned, an orphan not just of his parents, but of the movement he believed in. After 3 weeks, Turner learns from campus gossip that Spencer plans to take Elwood out back, under the cover of night. While Blakely is passed out drunk and other staff are distracted, Turner breaks Elwood out of the dark cell. They steal bicycles from a board member's house and flee towards Tallahassee, hoping to catch a train north. As dawn breaks, the community service van, driven by Harper with Hennepin beside him, spots them. They chase the boys across a pasture. Harper and Hennepin get out with shotguns. As Turner urges Elwood to run faster towards the woods, Harper takes aim. Elwood is shot in the back and falls dead in the field. Turner keeps running, escaping into the woods, the sound of the shot and Elwood's fall echoing in his mind. The narrative snaps back to the present. The man known as Elwood Curtis is revealed to be Turner. He escaped Nickel that day, eventually made his way north, and adopted Elwood's identity, obtaining his birth certificate and social security card to build a new life. He established a successful moving company in New York City, Ace Moving, and married a woman named Millie. The news reports about the Nickel graveyard discovery, particularly the image of the excavated site, force him to confront the truth. He confesses his real identity, Jack Turner, and his past at Nickel to Millie, explaining that Elwood died during their escape attempt. Millie, though shocked, affirms her love for him, understanding the weight of his past and the significance of his survival and success. Turner decides he must return to Florida to testify about Nickel, specifically about Elwood's story and his death. Accepting the potential legal risks to himself, he flies to Tallahassee, checking into the Radisson Hotel, the former Richmond Hotel, where Elwood's journey into the world's harsh realities began. He prepares to attend the press conference the next day, ready to finally speak for the silent, to honor his friend, and to reveal the truth about the Nickel boys. If you enjoyed this book breakdown, please consider liking this video and subscribing to get notified when we post our next book.